I just started the recording just in case. So yeah, let me just share my screen so I can show you what I've got here. So yeah, this is the 6th week of the course, and during the 6th week, a part of the exams, of course, we're gonna have a look at some resources that I believe would be very useful for you guys, and also a review of the the most important topics that we are going to consider for the exam. This is essentially, the plan that we've got so far. So yesterday we were doing some activities about professional skills, right? And today we're gonna be doing these 3 things. So first, we're gonna start with some creative writing, which is gonna help us a lot with the narrative tenses, because as you may, basically, if you ask me about like a summary, an overview of the topics that we have covered so far and that we are going to take into account for the exam, we could say that there are like 2 major things. One of them is narrative tenses, when we were talking about stories and everything. So it's all about talking about the past in different tenses. So that's one very important thing. And the other part has to do with vocabulary for descriptions, right? So how to express opinions and how to describe things, basically. So that's why I believe this exercise is going to be very useful. So it will help us a lot with this, writing and using narrative tenses. Then we're gonna do a activity that I did it yesterday myself. It was really cool, and that's an interactive activity about vocabulary. So this is a resource that I share with you, and we will be using today, and I know you guys will love it. And last but not least, I will assign some homework, which is basically for reviewing the narrative tenses. So this is something very simple, but also at the same time, I'm going to share with you this app that I believe is really useful. And that the thing is that, as we suggested, these learning menus, and you know that the point with learning menus is to create habits, right? And to sort of plan and decide on the activities and things you do during the week. This is something you may consider. So this application is really interesting because it allows you to select different kinds of content. So yeah, I'll be sharing that with you as well. Okay, guys, so as I said, we're gonna be doing some creative group writing, which means that you guys will be working on the creation of certain texts. So basically what we are going to do with this activity, very simply stated, let's say, you guys are going to write. So that's why it's called creative writing, right? So yeah, you guys are going to write, and you're going to write using narrative tenses, which means that you need to activate your past form tenses. But this is this is always a quite fun exercise. And actually, I just remember that a couple of sessions before, I wanted to ask you about 2 different words, just to say if you guys understand the difference, but I didn't do it. My bad. So guys, what's the difference between these 2 words? Fun versus funny. What's the difference, guys, between these 2 words? What do you guys know about this? What's the difference? Do you guys know?
Teacher, I think that fun is referring to the action and funny referring to the person.
Well, that's a hypothesis, right? Any other idea, guys? Fun versus funny, like action versus person. I don't know. I don't know. No idea? You guys are extra shy today? I want to think that you guys feel shy, not as sleepy, okay? I just want to feel that. Okay, guys, so both of these words, both of them are adjectives. So we say fun activity or funny activity. It's both of them are adjectives. So it's words we use for, describing people or things. but the difference is in meaning, basically. When we talk about something which is fun, it means that that's something, that activity is something you enjoy doing, something which is cool, you know, something which is nice to do. So you say, for instance, in my case, to play football is fun, or to ride my motorcycle is really fun, or to you know, to go traveling is fun, or actually reading is fun, or playing video games is fun. You see, so it means that it's something that makes you feel good, something that you like doing, you see, and that makes you feel like energized, and you know, it's that's essentially it. In the case of funny, it's related, or it has to do with something that makes you laugh. Basically, it makes you feel good, yes, but not just like cool, but it makes you laugh, and you like it because of that. So for instance, jokes are funny, or if you watch some stand-up comedy shows, those are funny as well, or some movies can be funny. But I cannot say like playing football is funny. No, that's weird. I mean, well, I don't know. If you watch a football match which is a piece of crap, or if you watch a very bad football team that makes you laugh, so in that case, you could say it's funny. But for instance, I wouldn't say riding my motorcycle is very funny. No, because I don't laugh when I ride it. I just have fun, you see. So if you still have doubts, well, the translation is gonna solve it completely. So basically, fun in Spanish is divertido, right? And funny in Spanish is chistoso. You see? Very, very different. Okay, guys, so that's just for you to keep in mind. So this activity that we are going to do is something that I consider funny sometimes, because as you'll see, we end up like making a very crazy mix, very crazy combination of things. So guys, I will explain how this thing works. So we are going to make groups, right? We are going to make groups of 6 people, okay? And that's the first thing, okay? So please keep that in mind. We're gonna make groups of 6 people, and each one of the groups, I will give each one of the groups one link to a folder like this. Can you guys see the folders?
Yes, teacher.
Right? So each one of the groups is gonna have a folder like this. So for instance, let's say there is a group number 1 and I give you this folder. So you guys have to enter here and you will find a file. You will find a file. The file is like this, goes like this. Okay, so you have to, oh my God, let me just, I should make a copy. Save as Google Docs. Yes, I should have done this before. I'm so sorry. So give me 1 second. So yeah, I will do it myself. So each one of the groups is gonna have a file like this, you see? So you have to make copies of this file. So if we are, for instance, 6 people in the group, we need to have 6 files like this. So that's why it says creative group writing and name. So creative group writing, David Vallejo, creating group writing, Dylan Paez. See, so it's like you have to change this with your name. So if we are 6 people, we must have 6 files. Okay, so far so good. Yep.
Yes, teacher.
So each one of you has to have a file. So you guys open, you create, you copy paste your files. You have to make copies of the original file. Then you give it, you put your name here. Okay. And that means that all the group, the 6 people in the group would have access to the 6 different files. Okay. So that's a step number 1. You have to enter the folder that I'll share with you. Step number 1, you enter the folder and then you create 6 copies of the file you'll find there. Okay, that's step number 1. Now, step number 2, each person has to open his or her file and type their name. Okay, that would be the second step. Okay? Then guys, then each one of you is going to assign him or herself a number. So I will be the writer number 1, Dylan would be the writer number 2, Ana Maria writer number 3, and all the way until 6. So each one of you would have a number as well, okay? So that's like how you take turns. That's how it works. Once you guys have done that, and please listen to the instructions, but because it happens a lot, and sometimes, you know, like we say the instructions, and then when you guys have to start, I ask you, do you have questions? And then people say, no, I've got no questions. And then when you are in the groups, then you say, like, what do we have to do? So no. So once that you guys have created your own file, once that you have assigned yourselves a number, the next thing that will happen is that I will make some questions, okay? So I will make a question number 1. So I make, for instance, just to give you an example, the question is, what did you do last Sunday, for instance? What did you do last Sunday? So you have to write here an answer, each one of you on their own file. You see, so I will do the question number 1 on my file, okay? So I will answer here. Last Sunday, last Sunday, I visited my brother because it was his birthday. That's it. You see, that's it. So you guys would write it. So for example, just like this, last Sunday, visited my brother because it was his birthday. That's it. You see, guys, that's all you guys have to do. So I just write it here. So I answer the question. So each one of you would answer the first question on the file that has your name. So for example, let's say this is mine. So it would be something like this. Okay, guys? So far, so good?
Yes, teacher.
Right, so you only have to listen to me. I would say question number 1. I read the question and I actually read it and show it to you on the screen. So that's gonna be super easy. So you guys read it, like listen and read it. You answer it, and then when I tell you guys, like, okay, guys, we're gonna continue with the next one. So please exchange your files. So when you guys are asked to exchange your files, the next thing that you guys have to do is to hide the text. Look, originally this activity to be done in a regular class, you guys were supposed to fold the piece of paper. So this would be a piece of paper, so you fold it, you see? But in this case, we cannot fold it because it's a digital file. So what you guys are going to do to cover this is to select the text like this, and then you are going to highlight it, but using a black color, you see, like this. So we cannot see the text, okay? Black color. If it's a different color, that would be useless. If you use, I don't know, red, no, because we can see the text. So it has to be black. Okay, so the point is that you have to write your answer and then you have to highlight it with black color so the next person who's gonna write here cannot read what you wrote before, you see? So remember, I was the writer number 1. I say, okay guys, exchange texts. So you guys have to continue, you can go out. So for instance, I was the number 1, so I would come back here and I would enter the file number 2, you see? And the person who was in the file number 2 enters file number 3, and 3 goes to 4, 4 goes to 5, 5 goes to 6, 6 goes to 1. Do you understand? You guys understand?
Yes, teacher.
So you rotate like that. You see, so that's why I said, and actually, you know what, guys? Another additional instruction. Please write the number here in the file. So for instance, if I was number 1, I would put it here, number 1. And number 2 would put number 2 here, just for you guys to have the numbers here, so it would be easier for you to track it, okay? So let's say I was number 1, so I went out here, and I'm gonna make a copy of the other file. And then there was the number 2, let's say this is the number 2. So I would close this one and I would go here, and then I have to be ready to answer the second question. So the second question was, for instance, I don't know, who called you in the morning, for instance. So I write it down like, and my mother called me at 9 a.m., for instance. I write it here, and then I do the same thing, and then we continue doing the same cycle. So I would say, okay, guys, exchange texts. So I was in the number 2, so I close number 2, and I go to number 3, to the text number 3. Okay, guys? Is it clear what you guys have to do? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah, there you go, guys. So that's what you have to do, okay? It is as simple as that. So as I said before, this is an activity that we normally do just by folding the pieces of paper, but we cannot fold them because this is not a physical piece of paper. This is a digital file. So that's why we're gonna highlight everything with a black color, okay? But what's the point, guys? The point is that you have to answer all the questions. You guys are going to answer the questions, but on different texts. So it doesn't mean that you are going to answer all the questions in your own text, but it's like we are going to mix the answers. So that's why it's called creative group writing, because we are combining the answers of each one of you. Okay, guys? So that's how it works. If you have questions, guys, you can just let me know. Let's see, because I think, yeah, the part of highlighting is not subrayar, but highlighting. Once you answer the question, you need to highlight it in black so the next person cannot read it. Of course, that you guys could do you could cheat, right? But what's the point? The point is that you cannot read what the previous person wrote. Of course, you could, change the highlighting or whatever just to see what the other person wrote, but that's not the point. The point is not to know what the previous person wrote, because that's what makes it funny at the end of the day. You see, that's how we end up doing some crazy stuff. So do not read what the previous person wrote, because then you spoil the game and it would be like boring, okay? That's very important, guys. Do not read what the previous person did. That's why we highlighted in black, so the next person cannot read. But of course, when you receive the format from the previous person, do not read it, because you would spoil it, okay? So that's essentially it. So guys, I'd like to know if you understand, if you have any question. Let me.
Teacher,
Yeah.
We can do it by the cell phone to that, yes?
Yeah, you can do that, because you have to, just in case, I mean, the only thing is that you need to have Google Docs installed. That's the only thing. You have to make sure that you have that application installed. That's the only thing. Okay, but yeah, it works on cell phones as well. If you can do it on your computer, that's gonna be way better. But if you can't, on the cell phone, it's also possible to do that. So I'm just creating the copies. Give me 1 second, guys. Please, if you have any question, please make the question right now, because if you have doubts when we start doing the exercise, that's going to be a complete mess, because you wouldn't be able to keep the pace of the exercise, and you would spoil others exercise as well. So if you have questions, guys, this is the moment, because then we're gonna just start and that's it.
Teacher.
Yes, mister?
So we have to create the 6 copies of each document?
Yeah, it's 1 copy per person, because each one of the groups is gonna have at least 6 people. So if there are just 5 people, then it would be just 5 copies, but I'll try to make sure that each group has 6 people. Okay?
Okay, thank
You see? So remember, it's like I give you the folder, you create the copies, so we have 1 copy per person. Each person enters his or her copy, puts the name there, and answers the question number 1. You see? So far, so good. So, like for instance, if I am the person number 5, I would answer the question 1 in my file. You see? But then when I say exchange files, number 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 1, you see? And then you would answer the next question, but in the other file. And then that means that each one of you would visit all the 6 files, you see? So you will answer the 6 questions, each on a different file. You get it?
Yes, I got it.
There you go, guys. Of course, if you have doubts, somebody in your own group can help you. Or if you don't understand what you're doing, you can call me and I would go to your breakout room and I will help you. Okay, that's essentially it. Okay, guys, so we're gonna make the breakout rooms in this moment, just to make sure that we have 6 people. So we're gonna have 4 groups. Chances are, guys, that we're gonna have 5 people actually in the groups. So you would create, yeah, because if we create 5 groups, that would be 4 groups. That would be 5 groups. That would be 4 people. No, we're gonna have 5 people in each one of the groups. So that means that you have to create 5 files, and then you will have to repeat a turn in one of the files, but not a big deal. So I just created the groups, guys. The groups are groups of 5 people, and there is, yeah, all the groups are groups of 5 people. So that means 5 files, because it's 1 file per person, okay? So I will open the groups, and then I will enter each one of the groups, sharing the link to your folder, okay? So you have to enter and wait there, so I give you the link of the folder, okay? So let's do it right now.
Morning. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Okay.
R.
Okay, guys, so welcome back to the main session again. So I will give you another piece of information on this. It doesn't mean that you guys will do the activity together in the breakout room, not necessarily, because remember that you need to have access to the folder so you can jump to the other files. So in this moment, you guys should have created, should have made the copies of each one for each one, and you should have put in your names. That's all that you should have done by now, right? So I'm gonna have a look at some of the groups just to show you if you guys did the exercise correctly. So for instance, here, if we enter the group number 1, we just have 1 copy. So you guys need to create the other copies. You need to have 5 copies because we have 5 people. If we go to the group number 2, they do have the copies. They have 5 copies, so perfect. And each one of the copies should have a different name. Let's see. Okay, number 1, the number 2, very good. You see, that's what you guys have to do. Number 3, great. Then there should be a number 4 and number 5, I don't know. The other 2 guys should have a number. Do not forget to put the number at the beginning. That's what you guys have to do. But so far, so good. So this is an example of what you have to do. You have to put the number here, your name here, and that's it. It's like you create your copy, you put your number, you put the name. That's all that you guys have to do by now, okay? So this is something we need to do in all the different groups, okay? So group number 2, you guys have it. Group number 3, you need to change the numbers here at the beginning. Remember, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Not copia, 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 but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you guys are doing more or less fine. Oh, wait a minute, I just closed this. So there you go, number 3. Number 4, you guys, I believe you have it. Okay, okay. You got the numbers, the copies, good. So group number 1 now has like 7 copies. It's not 7 copies, it's 1 per person. So you should have 9, okay? So guys, please. So guys, now, please correct that, guys. We need to have 5 copies in each one of the groups, and the names of the copies need to be corrected, like with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how it goes. Come on, guys. None of the groups is ready yet. All of you guys have some sort of a problem. I believe this is the only. I'm gonna adjust it myself, but this is the only one that somehow looks better. It's not folder, it's number 4. 1, 2, 3.
But I have a question. The problem is that I cannot edit the name, so I cannot do anything. I don't know why.
But why? I mean, all the folders have permissions, so you can edit. Look at that. All of you guys can edit the files. Because I made sure that you guys could edit. I'm super sure about that. So once again, group number 1, guys, what happens? You guys have 6 files and the files don't have the numbers, please. We are taking forever with this.
Teacher, sorry, can you show us how can we change the name of the file? Because
there are 2 options. Yep, there are 2 options for that. There are 2 options. You can open the file. Let's say this is going to be number 2. So you open the file here, and here on the title, you just click here, and then you change it. So for instance, number 2. I don't know who this person is because it doesn't have a name, but that's one way. And then it's ready. Then let's say, and the other way you can do it is when you are here outside, you just right-click the file, and you look for the option rename or renombrar, and then you do it here. You see, that's the only way. That's the other way. So we have 2 ways to do that. So I'm doing it myself, but you need to put your names as well. So just say and number 4, and let's make another one, which is number 5. And that's it. And I think we can, there was a copy, we can delete this one. There you go. That's it, you see? So we have, but now we need to put the names in this group. So for instance, the file, I mean, none of the files have a name. So you need to put your name here where it says name and here where it says name. It's like you have to put your name in those 2 places. Okay, so group number 1 needs to do that. Group number 2, you guys have the numbers. Well, if it's okay, that's decent. Okay, that's okay. If you change the title, but it has a number and your name, that's enough. That's okay. Okay, good. So group number 2, you guys are ready. Group number 3, you guys are not ready. What happened with you guys? We have Clara Monroy, Daniela Rodriguez, Jose Diaz, Juan Paramo, Maria Alejandra. What happened with you guys? Don't you guys understand what you gotta do here? It's okay if you write at least the number and your name, just like the people in the group number 2 did. Number and name, like 1, Maria Alejandra, 2, Dylan, something like that. You see? So you guys, group number 3 are not ready. Group number 4, you guys are ready. So I think we are missing just the group number 3. Do you need any assistance, guys, with that? Yo, guys.
Teacher,
Yes?
I had changed the number, but no entiendo por qué no se actualizó ahí en la pantalla su merced. Sí, yo ya la actualicé aquí
I
en
don't
el
know.
celular.
That's a very good question. There is a problem with if, well.
I do it, teacher, but I don't know why.
Look, no. That's why I said it would be better if you do it from my computer, or if somebody in the group has a computer, can do it very quickly, and the rest would access just the files. But the thing is that you are entering, and perhaps you're having a connection problem or something. So it's not saving the changes. So you see, that's the problem. Look, the changes are not being saved. So guys, I need you to fix that really quick, because the other groups are ready, so we cannot wait more.
I do the change, teacher, but we will.
Just Juan's file has already been updated, but now he, I don't know, for some reason deleted the name again. Guys, come on, please.
What happened?
That's a good question. I'm gonna assign the numbers myself here, but you need to put your names.
Sospechas. Gestionen continuamente. Si la misión.
Okay, guys, I just give you the numbers, but you need to put also your names, okay?
Los números indican la distancia al objetivo. ¿Qué pasó, tío?
What? Anyways, guys, we are going to start right now. So let's do this, guys. We cannot wait more. Okay, guys. So remember, each one of you guys, I will read question by question. So you have to answer the question. This first question, the question number 1, you guys will answer it on your own file. So in this moment, guys, each one of you has to enter his or her own file. Okay, so you guys have to enter just your file in this moment. Okay, guys? you have to enter your file, just yours. So you have to enter there, and then you have to, excuse me, you have to, for instance, let's say number 1, you enter your file and you write the answer to the question I will make just here, and that's it. And once, remember, once you finish answering the question, you have to highlight it with black color. That's it. That's it. That's all we are doing in this moment. Okay, guys? You guys ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, this is the first question. What famous person did you meet? Remember, we are creating a story, so you have to write down whatever you want. What famous person did you meet? Look, it's simple past. What famous person did you meet? So you have to answer that question. What famous person did you meet? Okay, guys, ready? What famous person did you meet? So you have to answer the question, just this question, question number 1, and then you have to highlight it with black color, so it's impossible to read, so we cannot read. Okay, so I will just have a look at one of the files just to see if you guys did it. So I'm gonna go to Stefania's, for instance. Okay, good. And then you have to highlight it with black color, remember. Once you write your answer, you have to highlight it with black color. Excellent. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, now we're gonna continue with the second question. So for instance, let me see one group that has the names here. Guys, the numbers, come on. You need to have the numbers, guys, because otherwise you don't know exactly who's next. So I'm gonna put the numbers myself, okay? So Clara, in the group of you guys, Clara would be number 1. Jose Juan is number 2. Jose Diaz is number 3. And I don't know who the other person is. So this person, documento sin título, oh, Daniela, you would be number 5.
Tratando desde el celular ver cómo subrayo eso, pero no encuentro la opción desde el celular.
It's possible. Anyways, but if you guys can do it, no big deal. So guys, so in this, for example, in this case, now that you guys answered the question number 1, right? So in this group, for instance, group number 3, you guys answered question number 1. So Clara would close her file and would go to Juan's. You see, because Juan is number 2. So Clara closes her file and she will answer the question in the next file, which is Juan's. Juan would close his and he would go to Jose's. You see? Jose would close his and he would go to Maria Alejandra's. And Maria Alejandra's would close hers and would go to Daniel's, and Daniel's would close his and would go to Clara's. You see? So that you continue with the next one. Okay, guys, so please, in this moment, close your files because by now you should have answered the question number 1. And now we're going to continue with the question number 2. But remember, we are going to answer the question number 2 in the file of the next person. So 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 1. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to continue with the question number 2, guys. The question number 2 is, where did you meet them and who were you with? where did you meet them, or where did you meet him or her, depending on the person that you want. Where did you meet them, and who were you with? Who were you with? Like, what was the other person who was with you in that moment? Where did you meet them, and who were you with?
Bueno, ya puedes subrayarlo en negro. Profe, en el mismo documento propio respondemos a la segunda, ¿sí?
No, chicos. Es lo que les estoy diciendo hace rato. Ustedes cierran ahora su archivo y pasan al siguiente. Si usted es el número 1, usted cierra el suyo y va al número 2. La persona que tenía el número 2 cierra el suyo y va al número 3. La persona del número 3 cierra el suyo y va al número 4. El número 4 cierra el suyo y va al 5. El 5 hace lo mismo y va al 1. Y así vamos a seguirlo haciendo.
Ok, teachers.
Okay, guys, did you answer the question already?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so
Yes.
guys,
Yes,
so same thing. Once you answer the question, now you have to highlight your answer with black color and close the file. We're gonna repeat the process 5 different times, actually 6 times we're gonna do that. So we answer 6 questions there. So if you are the number 1 in this moment, you're answering the question 2 in the file 2, right? So now you close it and you would continue to the next file. Okay, that's what we are doing. You guys have to do the same process. You close the file you're working on and you continue with the next one. But you have to make sure that you highlight the answers. You need to highlight the answers just like this, look. So you need to highlight the answer here so I cannot read. So the next person cannot read easily what you guys have put there. So guys, please, in this moment, close the files, and then open the next file. Please, that's what we're gonna do now. Close the file and open the next file. So we answer the question number 3.
Teacher, when you say open the next, is, for example, I am the number 2, I open number 4?
Oh,
Because
well,
I
yes,
respond the number 3?
Exactly. Mhm.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, exactly. So that's why the numbers are important, because once you answer the question, you need to jump to the next one. So yeah, the number 2 should be in the number file number 4 now. 1 should be in 3, 2 in 4, 3 in 5, 5 in 2, you see, because you are moving. Okay, guys, We're going to answer the question number 3 now. And the question number 3 is, what was the famous person wearing and how did he or she look? For example, glamorous, taller than you thought, not too beautiful. Any adjective you want, you can use it here. Okay? What was the person wearing and how did he or she look? That's the next question. Okay, guys, you guys ready? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, guys, so once again, we need to now close the files. So we just answered the question number 3. You highlighted, so I believe here I've got a good example of it. So look, this is an example of what we should have by now. This is how the exercise should be going so far, you see? So we have 3 answers and all of them are highlighted in black color. Excellent. This is a very good example of what we should have by now, okay? So you guys are gonna close that file in this moment, the file you were working on. You have to make sure it looks something like this. Remember, it has to be like this, like 3 answers and all of them highlighted in black, okay? Please close the file and jump to the next one. So if you were working on the file number 1, go to 2, 2 goes to 3, 4 to 5, and so on, okay? So that's the next thing. So we are going to answer the next question, the question number 4. And the question number 4 is, what was he or she like? What was he or she like? This is, remember, a question to ask for personality. So he or she was friendly, funny, annoyed, angry, whatever. What was he or she like? You have to basically say how this person was, the personality of this person. Okay, you guys ready for the next question?
Yes.
Okay, guys, so we do once again, same thing. You have to close the file, continue with the next file. So in that moment, It means that this is the fifth different file you guys have a look at. So we're gonna continue. Remember, you have to answer this question highlighted in black color, and then we continue with the next file. The next question is, guys, what did you do when you saw the famous person? What did you do when you saw the famous person? That's the next question.
Teacher, I have a question.
Yes, yes.
How do you say autógrafo?
Autograph.
Autograph?
Like autograph, just like that.
Okay.
Autograph.
Thanks.
Okay, guys, you guys ready for the last question?
Yes,
Yes.
teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, guys. So the very last question, question number 6, goes like this. What happened next? For instance, he or she signed an autograph, walk away, is her decision. This is gonna be the last question, and then we're gonna share the crazy creations you
Here,
should
in
have made
our
by
case,
now.
we have to come back to the first.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, exactly, guys. Thank you, Felipe, for that. It means that the 6th question, you should be answering the 6th question on your own file again, because that means that you already have worked on the files of the rest of the group. So this last question, you should answer it on your own file. Yes, thank you for that. Okay, guys, so by now, I believe you should have finished. I think you guys already finished doing this, answering the 6 questions. Okay, guys, so what I would like you to do now we're gonna go to the breakout rooms again, okay? And it's very simple. We're gonna go back to the breakout rooms and you guys are going to read the stories. So each one of you guys is going to read his or her own story. So for example, let's say I'm here in the group number 1. So Tatiana, she's got the story with the text highlighted in black. So what you have to do, guys, is to eliminate that highlighting, let's say. So you have to select it, and then you click here on none. You see, none. So the text would be revealed. Okay. So now the text should have no highlighting. That's the next thing. So now you guys on your own files, you have to eliminate the highlighting so you can read the whole story. Okay. So you can read the whole story. So guys, I will send you back to the breakout rooms. Each one of you is going to read your own story. Okay, you guys are going to read your own story. And once all of you have read their stories, you will choose the one you like the most. Okay, so you will choose the one which is the craziest, the most interesting, whatever. You will choose only one per group. And then we're gonna come back to the main session and each one of you is going to read their stories. Okay, you guys are going to read your stories. Is it
Excuse
clear,
me,
guys?
teacher.
Yeah.
In my document there is no in the tier part there is nothing. Nadie no
But,
escribió nada.
but because of what I told you guys, because you didn't save the changes. So it might be a problem with your connection, or I don't know. So in that case, I'm so sorry. It's like that could happen, but that happens because you don't save the changes. So it's like, I don't know. I'm so sorry about that. But anyways, like at least, I believe at least one of the stories should be complete, I think, right? Hopefully. So guys, please, we're gonna go back to the breakout rooms. You guys are going to read the stories and you're gonna choose one per group. Okay guys, is it clear what we're gonna do?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, guys. So let's go back to the breakout rooms, read your stories, and choose one. That's all you gotta do. And you guys have around 6 to 7 minutes more or less for that. Let's do this. So guys, what we're gonna do now is super simple. Each one of the groups is gonna share one of the stories that you guys read. So you will choose the one that you like most, or the craziest, or the one that was well written. I don't know. It's your decision. You have to choose only one, and one person in the group is gonna read it. So the rest of us can, the rest of us know that story. If you guys want to share the screen, that's even better. Or you can just read it. Although it would be really good if you share your screen, because it would allow us to see possible mistakes or anything that we can correct. So we're gonna start with the group number 1. So in the group number 1, we had Alejandra Arce, John Gonzalez, Estefanía Portugues, and Tatiana Espitia, and Tatiana Obando. That's the group number 1. So guys, would you please read your story, the one that you guys chose, group number 1?
Well, teacher, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly. If you can share your screen, that's even better, if that's okay with you, somebody in the group.
Can you see the screen, teacher, or?
No.
Well, I don't know what happens with this. I'm in the phone, but
Well, so you can read the story if you will. You can just read it.
well, I meet a football player, Falcao.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, little interruption. In that case, that's why it would be better if we can see it. So if you say meet, that's in present. And remember, in the case of narrative tenses, we are using past forms. So in that case, it would be I met.
Met.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I met.
Yeah.
I met football player Falcao.
Yes.
I met him in a club in Bogota.
Yeah.
I was with my brother in that moment.
Yeah.
A very popular stylish leather jacket.
Uh-huh.
She was funny and outgoing everywhere. We went. She sang one of her songs. She was very friendly. I was very excited. I got as close as possible to him. Not much happened. It was really my friend who ran to him and asked for this autograph, and that's it.
Okay, that was a pretty normal story. Okay, okay, get it. Okay, nice. It was like I just saw the guy and he was so nice and he's got this leather jacket and thank you very much. Right. Okay, guys. Okay, but that was good. Thank you very much, John. So we're gonna continue now with the group number 2. So we have Andres, Felipe, Johanet, Lina, Linda, and Santiago in the group number 2. So who wants to read it, guys? Remember, if you can read, if you can share your screen, that's even better because we can see the text. Okay, guys, so who's gonna read it?
Okay, me. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
I met Jorge Celedon. I met him when I was at a shopping center in Bogota. I was with my family and my friend. He was taller than I imagined, and he was wearing kind of sporting clothes. He was very friendly with all the people. He cheerfully greeted the entry audience, and then he sang a part of a new song. I say to my mom that he was there. Well, the person that take the photo gave me the camera. I returned with my mom behind the platform, and we walked to my grandparents' house. Well, we choose that because in the answer number 3, he was taller than I imagined. That it's false because Jorge de Leon is very, very smaller.
Okay, so guys, once again, there is one thing that you need to be careful with, and that's with the tenses that you use. So for instance, in the question number 6, it says, I returned with my mom behind the platform and we walk. That's present. So once again, it should be in past. We walked with ed at the end. We walked to my grandparents' house. You see? So that's something you need to be very careful with because it happens a lot. It's a very common mistake. Like we are using past and then all of a sudden we start using present. So we need to be somehow uniform with that. Okay, well, that was quite a decent story, guys. Thank you very much. Just try to make that little correction there. And in the number 3, it says we was taller, and it was he was taller, right? In the question number 3. So there is a little mistake in question number 3, and also a mistake in the question number 6. Okay, guys, thank you. We're gonna continue now with the group number 3. Clara, Daniela, Jose, Juan, and Maria Alejandra. So would you please read one of the stories?
Yes, yes.
Oh. Yep.
Okay. Say, I meet to Carla Morrison. I was at the Movistar Arena with my best friend. When I meet him,
Met,
he
right? Met.
Yes, met. He wearing in a red coat and bow tie. Sometimes he wouldn't perform songs and wear hats. His clown nose looked tall. She was so cute and her attitude was so friendly. I instead loved her more. I didn't sit her in the first place, my friend told me. I was excited because I really liked her and she looked so good. that I couldn't believe we were in the same place. When I calmed myself, I asked her for an autograph.
Autograph.
She had, yes, she had to go away, so she got out to the van and go leave me.
Okay, guys. I just noticed with this story something that I've seen in the other ones, and is that you guys, all of you guys, are using simple past. So, and that's okay. But you need to keep in mind that also for telling stories, we use other tenses, and that's part of the homework that we would have for tomorrow. We need to review that. Like a couple of weeks ago, I said, guys, just have a look at narrative tenses. You should Google that. You should just review that just in case. So I'll give you some resources for you guys to do that, because so far all the stories have been just simple past, which is good, but you need to be careful because there are some other structures we might also use. So last but not least, we're gonna finish with the group number 4, and that's Ana Maria Buendia, Ashley Huesa, Brian Aguilera, Dylan Paez, Ciritza Garcia. So guys, would you please share your story with us?
Okay. One day I was in the downtown and I saw a singer. I don't remember the name, but I know he was famous. I met him in a coffee place in the city. I was with my best friend. The famous person was taller than me, and for me, he looked a nice person. She was very friendly and funny with us. I started to think of going until he was and said, "Hey," or something like that, but as I was scared and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, and the last part.
Then I walked away because I wasn't fan of him. And that's it.
Okay, so guys, would you please go to the first part? You're gonna have a look at a couple of things. So one day I was in a downtown, I saw a singer that I don't remember the name, but I know he was famous. I met him in a coffee place in the city. I was with my best friend, a famous person who was taller than me, and for me, look, and to me, I would say, and to me, he looked like a nice person. He looked like a nice person. I would say, and to me, he looked like a nice person. She or he was very friendly and funny with us. Okay, I started to think of going to where he or she was and say, hey, you see? So I started to think to go to where she or he was. That would be the correction. I started to think to go to where, not until, but to where she was or to where he was and say, hey, you see, so for instance, that's why we need to be careful. In this case, just you are using the past form in this verb and it's not necessary because this verb is not conjugated in past. It would be in present in this case. And say, hey, right? It's actually the same agreement we have in Spanish or something like that. But as I was scared, I couldn't do it. Okay, and go to the last one, please. Then I walked. You see, that one is in past. Then I walked away because I was busy, but a lot of people were surrounding him and I wasn't a fan of him. Okay, there you go, okay, guys. Okay, guys, so that was it with this exercise. I'd like to know how you guys felt during the exercise. How do you feel, guys, doing the exercise? Weird? Cool?
That was good.
Okay. So the bad thing is this is the first time, of course, I do it like this, like online, and it's way more complicated. It takes more time because you need to go to different files. When we do it on a traditional class, it's super easy because we would have just the piece of paper and then you have to write it down, you fold it, and then you pass it to the next person. So it goes like really quick. So that was the only thing that I was a little bit like sad about. Okay, guys, just to finish, oh my God, just to finish, there you go. It was weird, but it was fine. So guys, just to finish, I'm going to share something else with you. Give me 1 second as I open the resources here. Okay, guys, so this is part of the homework actually, and I will show you where what the homework is. As we didn't have time for the discussion of the book, I'm so sorry. Tomorrow we're gonna do it for sure. I'm super sure that tomorrow we'll do it. Although we are, in terms of time, we are right. So guys, I'm gonna share my screen in this moment. So guys, what's the homework for tomorrow? Basically, I just want you to listen to a podcast for tomorrow. It's basically two things I'd like you to do for tomorrow. So the first one, I need you to enter here in our model in the week number 6. Okay, so you guys are going to enter the week number 6. Okay, and here in this space where it says Material de Estudio, there are 3 resources that I need you to study. Okay, I need you to study this. So the first resource is this. If you click on here, the one that says, look, the one that says telling stories, narrative tenses, you click on here and you will open an explanation on that. So this is for you to study, guys. So if you open that link, the link here, telling stories, narrative tenses, I need you to read this explanation here. And here we also have some grammar exercises. So I would like you to start working on these grammar exercises. These are actually free for you guys. So it's not like you have to do them all, but this is a very good opportunity for you to review, the topic. So my suggestion would be to do some of these exercises before the exam, okay? So we got lots of different exercises here that you can do on that topic. So that's one resource, okay? The other one, which is the one that I do want you to do, there are 2 files. There is a listening file and the transcription of it. So I need you to click on this one and just listen to it. Let me just show it to you more or less how it goes. Oh, give me 1 second. Okay.
This is a download from BBC Learning English. To find out more, visit our website.
6 Minute Grammar
from BBC Learning English.
Hello, welcome to 6 Minute Grammar with me, Finn.
So we have that podcast and we also have the transcription of the podcast, okay? So what I need you to do, guys, is to play the audio here. And as you play the audio, you can read the podcast, you see? So the podcast basically explains that same topic, narrative tenses. So you can even read the podcast first, and then you can have a look at the other source. But at least listen to it and check the PDF. I really want you to do that because that's actually a very good explanation on narrative tenses. So you guys know a little bit more about that. Okay, guys, that's the first thing I'd like you to do. There is another thing. Give me 1 second because for that I need my cell phone. There is another thing that I need you to do. And that's an application that I would like you to install. Although this is not just for this week, but this is something that we can do more generally. So I'm going to share my screen here. Give me 1 second as I show you this application. And I'll show you why I believe this application is super interesting. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here. And I will start sharing it now on my cell phone. So you can see my screen on my cell phone, right? Right, guys?
Yes,
yes,
so,
teacher.
by the way, the name of the application, let me just see it here. Oh, BBC.
It's like
BBC,
the blue one?
This one, guys. BBC Learning English. Okay, so I like you to install this application. It's available for both iOS and Android. So it's on both systems. So once you open the application, what I like about the application is that basically the way it works is that you create your own program. So this is super in line with the learning menus. So in that case, what I'd like you to do is just to explore the different series, and if there is something that you like that, something that sounds interesting. So for instance, something regarding grammar. You open one of those, right? And you can click here on where it says follow. You see, follow grammar game show. So if I click here, look, if I follow it, it means that it will create a personalized, a customized feed. Look, so if we just go here to my learning, right here on the bottom, it will show me just the collections that I've selected. You see, so it's like you can select the content that you prefer. So you would have a customized feed. So it's like you can just study what you want to study. You see, so for instance, this one sounds actually very good. This grammar game show, because it's an explanation on very specific topics on grammar and stuff. So what I like about this application is that it allows you to customize your programs. You see, so for instance, here I have selected 3 different programs: Everyday English, Business English, and Grammar, for instance. And if you are not interested in one of them, you can just click on follow, and you would have just the ones you want, you see. So yeah, I really like this one. I believe this one is really cool, guys. So you should absolutely have a look at it. Okay, guys, so that's my other suggestion, just to install this application and start, you know, like working with it. Okay, so that's basically it. Yes. So let me just stop sharing my screen here. Okay, guys, so that's how it goes. Okay, so I would like you to install that application. And that's it. I'd like to know if you guys have any question or doubt or something about what we've done so far.
Teacher, the application is named BBC Learning, yes?
BBC Learning English. Yes, I do not worry. Actually, I also will share it on the WhatsApp group. And if you have an iPhone, you can find it there as well. So no problem. Actually, let me see, because I believe I should have it here. Give me one second. Look, I will share my screen here. And here on the screen, guys, in this same website that I share with you on Moodle, you can find it here. So as you can see, for example, download our Android version, download our iOS version. So it's also here, you see. So I will share. I will share this link as well, so you guys can see it there, and you can install the application as well. You see. So you click here on our app, and you will find the link to it, either for Android or iOS. Okay. Okay, guys. So basically, what I wanted to do today was like somehow to raise awareness on the importance of narrative tenses. Tomorrow we'll do some other exercises just to wrap up and just to answer questions and everything. And remember, on Thursday and Friday, we're going to be having the exam. Okay, so also tomorrow I would give you all the details on the exam, although we know that's going to be on those 2 days. Okay, I just shared with you the link to the application also. So that is it. So guys, I'm gonna just call the attendance, so we are good to go. Once again, also guys, if it's possible for you to use a computer during the classes, you know that now that it's obvious that it's better. If it's impossible, I understand. But if you can, it would be really cool. It's always better. Okay, so I'm gonna call the attendance. Give me 1 second, and then we finish. Okay, guys. So Brian Aguilera.
Yes, teacher.
John Jairo Barrera. Ana María Buendía.
I'm here, teacher.
Andrés Felipe Bueno.
I'm here, teacher.
Angie Carvajal. Angie not here. Jose Diaz. Tatiana Espitia.
I'm here, teacher.
Yelitza García.
Here, teacher.
John Sebastián González.
Here, teacher.
Tania Gomez.
Teacher, her connection went off.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. Santiago Hernández. Ashley Huesa.
Here, teacher.
Marcela Jiménez. Linda López. Johanna Martínez.
Me, teacher.
Clara Monroy.
Present, teacher.
Tatiana Obando.
Here.
Ana María Ortiz. María Ortiz. Dylan Páez.
Present, teacher.
Juan Páramo.
Present.
Estefanía Portugués.
Present, teacher.
Lina Rodríguez.
Present, teacher.
Daniela Rodríguez.
Present, teacher.
Alejandra Triana.
Present, teacher.
Gloria Velandia.
Me, teacher.
Okay, guys, so just to finish, remember, we are reading the 2 last chapters of the book. That's one thing. Also, you should have reviewed your learning menus for the previous week and for this one, so you need to work on that. Third thing to say, super important to study the narrative tenses. This is the second time I said it. So please have a look at the material that I share with you on the week number 6, because believe me, this is the most important topic for the exam. If you look at the syllabus of the course, that's the most obvious language component we have there. So we need to be very, very diligent with that narrative tenses. And that's something we're gonna continue working on during the second term. So that all the different past forms. And tomorrow we're gonna have the last exercises, the last activities from the term. I'll give you some guidelines on the exam, and also I'll give you the guidelines for the book review, which is going to be presented next Monday. That's going to be the last activity of the term, which is going to be delivered on Monday. Okay, guys. So as usual, guys, thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
You too, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye-bye.